Good morning, it's Kinninigan. Trump has been doing so many things in the past week. It's a good strategy because fake stream media and Democrats can't even keep up with them. Um, and there is a story that came out that Snopes is trying to debunk. So whenever you know that Snopes is trying to quote unquote debunk something, it's probably legit. Here, I'll give Democrats credit for one thing that they did during the Biden administration. Even though inflation went through the roof and crime, they did keep the price of adrenochrome down. Just saying. We even have a number what the cartels were charging for children. And well, the deal was that around 350,000 children went missing during the Biden administration. Within the first week of the Trump administration, they said they found 80,000 of these children. Now mainstream media is trying to debunk it. Now they didn't say where they found these children, how they found them, but 80,000? They would have had to been found in large groups or even more sinister, mass graves. I don't know if you know too much about this. Not only were children being trafficked, sadly some of these were victim of satanic ritual abuse. That's where the chrome comes from. That is not a drug you can buy off the internet. That comes from a live child, period. It's a demonic ritual. I wouldn't even call it a quote unquote drug. Um, but the fact that 80,000 of these children have been found so far, it was reported on Fox News right
Now, the
here.
second wave that Tom Home and the borders are for Trump has told me about, and all of this will focus on those missing children, hundreds of thousands of them that we know. And that number has started to already come down, Emily, from 300,000. So they've found about 75 to 80,000 of those kids already. If they can get the list of these guys, 4 full days in office for Trump, if they can get the list of where some of those kids have been, and they've been identifying it, since the election, going after them and trying to find those little ones, what in the world was Biden's administration doing?
I'll tell you what they were doing. Gee, I mean, it's not really. So, this is one aspect they don't want coming up, but something is strange about this story. Like I said, the Trump administration did not give details on where or how these children were found. There's been some strange news stories coming out. Supposedly, a trafficking operation, didn't say anything about humans, was shut down in Los Angeles. I don't know if you heard that story. Um, and now it seems like the only thing that Democrats have, the idiots, Joe Biden ordered the death of thousands of chickens while he was president, so the price of eggs is through the roof, right? Um, So, like, he's been in office in less than a week, and they're like, "Oh, the price of eggs didn't come." Listen, deep staters. I'll pay fucking $1,000 for a dozen eggs if it saves 80,000 missing children from being harvested for satanic ritual abuse. Okay, so and they don't seem to want to. Now you got Snopes trying to debunk this story. Uh, I don't think they can debunk it because not a lot of details were given out about where these or how these children were found, or even if they're alive, sadly. I think we're going to hear more about the missing children. There were threats by the Trump administration that they are going to look into the child trafficking and expose who's been doing it besides the cartels. I mean, and he's look, anyone that thinks that Trump is deep state, I don't know what the hell you're smoking. 80,000 missing children within a week? Yeah, that's a deep stater to me. Please. Um, Also, cutting down all the NGOs, the money laundering. That's what that is. All those U.S. aid. He shut down those programs, and now they're trying to sue him for it. The shutting, the firing everyone from all the bullshit bureaucracy. This was all money laundering going on. People taking your tax money, stealing it, then sitting there and preaching to you all day about you got to give up your guns. You need, yeah. Why do they? And so they're losing the information war. They've already lost it. Obviously, CNN and MSNBC. Yeah, there were 300,000 missing children. Um, it's kind of funny. Democrats don't want to talk about children being separated from their families right now in the mainstream media. In fact, they don't even want to talk about the quote unquote missing children. No, they want to talk about the price of fucking eggs after less than a week in office. After, obviously, you know why. They expected Trump to come in with a fucking magic wand and put the price of eggs. Yeah, bullshit. And they're being called out for that. They don't want to talk about, yeah, it was Joe Biden that ordered the death of. And remember all those food installations and factories that mysteriously caught on fire for the past 4 years? This was all fucking engineered. They try to. They did everything to screw over America before Biden left office, and then they're going to sit there bitching about the shit they created and blame it on Trump. They want to talk about eggs, but they don't want to talk about the missing children. Listen, I'm only waiting for Trump to, a lot of us are, to put out the executive orders and the laws that will allow us to talk more openly on Google and take away their right to just ban us because we're talking about stuff that they don't like. It is not illegal to talk about pedophilia or child trafficking unless you're involved in it. Then it's an issue. Just saying. So a lot of that is, and of course, getting rid of the DEI. I'm sure the Trump administration knew that this was a national security threat to quote unquote weaken the United States military. And the other thing I'll say is within the first week of office, a lot of us agree. We don't care what Trump's doing as long as he's spending money in the United States of America, which he's actually doing. With the we'll talk about that in another video. That's a very interesting the $500 billion Stargate AI project. I will make a video about that, and the Iron Dome that he's building in the United States. Here's what I feel about it. I don't give a shit as long as he's making stuff in America for by Americans for Americans. That's fine. Instead of fucking handing out our money all over the world so it gets laundered back to Democrats. Where do you think that $2.5 billion came for Kamala's presidential campaign? The Ukraine financial aid? Oh, you already got rats in Ukraine ratting people out. How they didn't receive a lot of the money. And once the Ukraine money stopped, it happens a lot. I watch a lot of organized crime shows and everything. Everyone rats, yeah, they're going to start ratting each other out. And we've already had divides in Hollywood over this issue with children. Just saying. Some Hollywood actors don't want to be associated with these P. Diddy lists. That's all we're going to say for now. And so I'll put this as a top comment. If you want to support the channel, yeah, I would like to get some eggs. They're a little expensive right now. So if you could support the channel, anything would help. I got been trying to stay away from the news for the past few days because I will say this: Democrats. I think he's throwing shit at them just to tie them up. They get distracted easy. Democrats don't have long attention spans. So the birthright citizenship, I think he knew that that was going to be challenged in court and shutting down all the bullshit NGOs. It'll keep him busy. But they don't want to talk about these missing children. Now they're trying to fucking debunk it. Snopes. Yeah. There goes your first clue right there. Uh, yeah. Anyway, they just had ice raids in Philly today at a car wash. in an old neighborhood I lived in, Juniata, if you're familiar with Philly, they raided a car wash with a bunch of illegal immigrants working there. Look, we don't need fucking immigrants picking our fruit, scrubbing our toilets. Some of us are self sufficient. Like, I don't need anyone cutting my fucking lawn. I do it myself. If I hear any more racist shit coming from Democrats, like, who's going to wash your car? Who's going to mow your lawn? Who's going to do. Americans, or we could do it ourselves. Yeah, they act like everyone needs a fucking illegal immigrant indentured servant cleaning their fucking house for them. Please. Could you be any more racist? Jesus Christ. Anyway, it's off my rant this morning. It's better I don't talk. The more I talk, the more I'm going to get myself in trouble. Yeah, I was on video the other day. Wait till the Eagles go to the Super Bowl. It'll get even more crazy. Anyway, any questions or comments, leave them below. Yeah, they're trying to debunk this now. And this was on the 28th. Maybe it's up to 100,000 children they located by now. And the sad thing is, we don't have details on these children. Are they alive? Where were they found? How were, quote unquote, 80,000 of them found? I have some theories. I don't think they want to release that information yet for the same reason I'm being careful on YouTube. The new Department of Law Enforcement and Justice isn't set up yet. And we also have another sinister story that I'm trying to follow. Maybe I'll make a separate video about that. But strangely, because I don't believe in coincidences, two of the J6 protesters, which have been pardoned by Trump, have been murdered. One at a traffic stop by police, and another was a 57-year-old woman who supposedly was having papers served to her, and she was shot in her house. Yeah, sounds suspicious to me. Sounds like to me some of these prisoners were abused and they have massive lawsuits that are pending, and plus it won't be good for optics when people find out these people were fucking tortured in prison for 4 years without trials. So yeah, strangely, J6 protesters that have been pardoned are winding up dead. Yeah. Anyway, God help us all, right? I don't see that as a surprise. Anyway, hopefully, more will come out about these missing children. Believe me, they will. And yes, we know the cartels were trafficking them at the border. And I often tell you they like foreign children because no one goes looking for foreign children. They don't have birth certificates. They don't get Amber Alerts put out for them. Yeah, there's nothing in here about the actual details of where the children were found or how, but I'm sure we're going to hear more about it. Anyway, any questions or comments, leave them below. God bless and take care.